Welcome to the best. In the vast tapestry of life on Earth, there exist creatures of extraordinary beauty and wonder. Yet just as nature presents us with breathtaking marvels, it also harbors a darker side, a realm inhabited by predators, parasites, and forces that evoke both fascination and fear. Today we venture into the chilling world of humanity's own apex predators, serial killers. These individuals, driven by motives often as perplexing as they are terrifying, have stalked the annals of history, leaving behind a trail of misery and unanswered questions. From the fog-choked streets of Victorian London to the sun-drenched suburbs of modern America, their stories serve as stark reminders of the fragility of life and the depths of human depravity. The year is 1888. The heart of London, a city pulsating with life and industry, becomes a hunting ground. A shadow stalks the Whitechapel district, preying on women trapped in the unforgiving grip of poverty. His name, whispered in hushed tones and splashed across the front pages of newspapers, becomes synonymous with terror. Jack the Ripper. The Ripper's methods were brutal, his knowledge of anatomy unsettling. Each victim, discovered on the cold cobblestones, bore the mark of a macabre artistry, their bodies mutilated in ways that suggested a chilling intimacy with death. Despite the efforts of Scotland Yard, Jack the Ripper was never caught. He vanished back into the fog, leaving behind a legacy of fear that continues to haunt the streets of London to this day. He was the boy next door, the charming law student, the volunteer for crisis hotlines. Ted Bundy was, by all outward appearances, a model citizen. Yet beneath this carefully constructed facade lurked a predator of the most cunning and terrifying kind. Bundy's hunting ground was the American landscape. He moved from state to state, leaving behind a trail of heartbreak and despair. His victims, often young women who resembled a lost love, were lured to their deaths by his disarming charisma and carefully crafted ruses. Bundy's crimes shocked a nation, not just for their brutality, but for the chilling realization that evil could wear a familiar face. In the annals of criminal history, few names evoke the same visceral revulsion as Jeffrey Dahmer. Known as the Milwaukee Monster, Dahmer's crimes plumbed the depths of human depravity, leaving an indelible stain on the American psyche. Dahmer's apartment, a seemingly ordinary dwelling in a quiet Milwaukee neighborhood, became a macabre chamber of horrors. It was here that he lured his victims, young men and boys, often from marginalized communities, promising them companionship or a night of fleeting escape. The discovery of Dahmer's crimes sent shockwaves through Milwaukee and beyond. Behind the painted smile and brightly colored costume lurked a monster. John Wayne Gacy, the man who called himself Pogo the Clown, used his jovial facade to mask a heart of unimaginable darkness. He was a pillar of his community, a successful contractor, and a friendly face at children's parties. Yet beneath this veneer of normalcy, Gacy harbored a sinister secret. His home, a seemingly ordinary suburban house, became a tomb. In its crawl space, investigators uncovered the remains of 29 young men and boys, their bodies discarded like broken toys. Gacy's modus operandi was as calculated as it was chilling. He would lure his victims, often troubled runaways or young men desperate for work, with promises of money, parties, or a sympathetic ear. Once inside his home, he would overpower them, often after demonstrating a magic trick while wearing handcuffs, transforming his twisted games into instruments of death. The year is 1893. Chicago, a city on the cusp of greatness, prepares to host the world's Columbian Exposition, a dazzling display of human ingenuity and progress. Yet amidst the grandeur and innovation, a darkness festers. Hidden in plain sight, a sinister structure rises, its architect a charismatic young doctor with a heart as cold as the steel girders that form its bones. His name, A.H. Holmes. Holmes's creation was no ordinary building. It was a labyrinth of secret passages, hidden rooms, and soundproof chambers, a macabre monument to his own twisted desires. He called it his World's Fair Hotel, a place where dreams turned to nightmares and guests checked in, but never checked out. A shadow fell across the Soviet Union in the 1970s and 1980s, a specter of fear that haunted the forests and train stations of the Rostov Oblast. His name was Andrei Chikatilo, a man whose unremarkable appearance belied the monstrous desires that lurked within. He was known as the Butcher of Rostov, a predator who preyed on the most vulnerable members of society, leaving behind a trail of unimaginable grief and despair. Chikatilo's victims, mostly young boys and girls, were lured to their deaths with promises of treats or assistance. He would often target runaways or children from broken homes, those least likely to be missed and most vulnerable to his manipulative charm. He would lead them deep into the woods, far from prying eyes, where he would unleash the full extent of his depravity. His crimes were characterized by a level of brutality that shocked even seasoned investigators. Los Angeles, the City of Angels, became a breeding ground for fear in the summer of 1984. A specter stalked the night, slipping through windows and doors, leaving behind terror and bloodshed. His name was Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, a harbinger of chaos and fear. Ramirez's crimes were random and brutal. He targeted victims of all ages and backgrounds, preying on their vulnerability. Breaking into homes at night, he carried knives, guns, and a chilling calm. His victims faced unspeakable horrors, their homes turned into macabre crime scenes. Ramirez reveled in terror, leaving satanic symbols and forcing victims to swear to Satan. He was known as the Gray Man, blending seamlessly into early 20th century America. Behind Albert Fish's facade lurked a monster, a predator of unimaginable cruelty. His crimes shocked a nation, exposing society's dark underbelly. Fish's victims were children, their innocence a cruel irony. He lured them with promises of candy, toys, or the circus. Once alone, the mask slipped, revealing the monster beneath. His meticulously planned crimes were rituals of torture and suffering. The open road, a symbol of freedom and escape, became Aileen Wuornos's hunting ground. Hers is a story of survival turned deadly, a tragic descent into violence that challenged the perception of female serial killers. Wuornos, a woman hardened by a life of abuse and abandonment, turned on the men who she claimed had wronged her, her story a complex tapestry of victimhood and rage. Wuornos's victims were men, often truck drivers or travelers she picked up along Florida's highways. She claimed self-defense, alleging that each man had attempted to assault her, her crimes a desperate act of survival in a world that had shown her little kindness. Her weapon of choice was a handgun, a tool of empowerment in a life marked by powerlessness. In the annals of criminal history, few names evoke the same visceral reaction as Ed Gein. His crimes, a macabre blend of murder, necrophilia, and grave robbing, transcended the boundaries of human comprehension, inspiring countless horror films and solidifying his place in the pantheon of true crime legend. He was the Butcher of Plainfield, a quiet, unassuming farmer whose gruesome hobbies shocked a nation and left an indelible stain on the American psyche. Gein's Wisconsin farmhouse was a scene straight out of a nightmare. Human skin fashioned into lampshades and furniture, skulls used as bowls, and a belt made of human nipples were just a few of the gruesome artifacts discovered by horrified investigators. His macabre collection was not merely a product of mental illness, it was a testament to a mind consumed by darkness, a mind that blurred the lines between life and death, reality and delusion. Thank you for watching The Best. We've journeyed into the darkest corners of human nature, exploring the lives and crimes of 10 individuals who have become synonymous with evil. Their stories, as chilling as they are fascinating, serve as stark reminders of the fragility of life and the ever-present potential for darkness to emerge in even the most unexpected places. What do you think about these notorious serial killers? What drove them to commit such unspeakable acts? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling content that explores the depths of human nature and the mysteries of the world around us. Until next time, remember, sometimes the most terrifying monsters are not the stuff of legend, but the very real individuals who walk among us, their true nature hidden beneath the surface, waiting for the opportune moment to emerge.